Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
18.
On 2nd down, Trubisky gonna let one fly for Rupp. And got his man complete. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 78 yards. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10.
Hey, 382, let's shift it. Black.
They go play action here on 1st down. But it's caught by Crabtree. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Wide.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Red ransom! Red ransom! Red ransom! Red ransom!
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Red ransom! Lock in, lock in. Behind.
On third down, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Red ransom!
Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
18. Red ransom! Hey, gotta go.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Sims. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Lock in.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line.
Go.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Someone's sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive, and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10.
Leave it, 48. Listen.
Following the interception, Cousins. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
List 50, here we go.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Leave it, 48.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Here we go,
On play action, Cousins. Room to run past midfield. Caught left side to Crabtree. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. 2nd down, Cousins.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Steps away to his left. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Brad Wing now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. This is taken around the 12. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Trubisky lost the football, but the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Dejo. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 37. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Flush to his right. He completes it right side to White. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Here's Trubisky. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On first down, Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Again, it's Trubisky. And this is caught at the 8. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Cousins. Buying time to his left. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And out now come the Vikings. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Dancing to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Lucky 50. Hey, we're good, we're good. 300.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught. It's White for a Bears touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears will extend their lead. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
There we go. You see it? You see it? Red, up.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
There we go. You see it? You see it?
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
3 down. There we go. You see it? You see it? Red, up. 18. Red, up. Red,
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Parkey's kick is good. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. 3rd quarter action now. This one taken from the 7. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eddie Goldman with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Here's Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, gotta go.
Off the toss, Cohen. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Parkey's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Terrell Suggs able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Wide.
To throw, Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
18.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Lorenzo Molden coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. They pitch out to Howard. They find some open field here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Trubisky firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. And this one is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. Back now at Soldier Field. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Cousins now 6 of 17 throwing the ball. Only 35%. But he does have a 1st and 10. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
You see it? You see it?
On first down, they run with Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
We're go, let's go! Gotta go.
This is Howard on second down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
There we go. You see it? Red, up. Hey, gotta go. Lock in.
They go play action. Trubisky looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sims. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. Trubisky now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, gotta go.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. This is Cohen looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Hey, 18.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Andrew Sendejo. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Following the interception, Cousins. And now here's another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his third pick of the game. Instead, it's third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Danny Trevathan with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Being chased out left. Now a desperation throw. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. He got 29 yards that time. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. On first and goal, Howard. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Play fake. Cousins. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for second down. One last shot now for Cousins. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Bears, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, They come back to the pack a bit as they're